Your being is basically built in to experience God, to experience divine, to experience the ultimate, to experience complete completion. Oh, listen, sons of immortality. Hinduism does not introduce you to you as a sinner. It introduces you to you as sons of immortality. Smarambam Nithyanandeshwari Madhyamam Asmadacharya Parayantam Vande Guru Paramparam. इस समय हमारे साथ उपस्थित सभी दर्शकों और भक्तों का मैं प्रेम एवं आशीर्वाद सहित स्वागत करता हूँ। आज के सत्संग के में आप सभी का प्रेम और आशीर्वाद के साथ स्वागत करता हूँ। सभी भक्तों, शिष्यों, सन्यासियों, समाजियों का स्वागत है। आई वेलकम all the Sri Mahants, Mahants, Kotaris, Tanedars, devotees, disciples, Samajis, Satsangis, all over the world who are sitting with us through Nithyananda TV, Sadhana TV, Ishwar TV, Janashri TV, two-way video conferencing, having Nayana Diksha in 42 cities in many countries around the world. Cities sitting with us in two-way video conferencing, having Nayana Diksha, Jorpati, Nepal, San Diego, Tiruvallavai, New Zealand, Adi Arunachalam, Vancouver, Bhuvaneshwar, London, Kashi, Hyderabad, Gupta Kashi, Nithyananda Nagaramu, Hyderabad, Hong Kong, Sirgali, Bogota, Colombia, Singapore, Singapuram, High Point, North Carolina, Baroda, Mulund, Mumbai, New York, Varanasi, Kulim, Tiruttani, Los Angeles, Arunachalam, Nithyananda Dhyanapītam, Haridwar, Nithyananda Dhyanapītam, San Jose, Madurai, Dubai, Vaidyanatham, Tiruvanmiyur, Chennai, and Warrington, UK, LA Downtown, Seattle, Chidambaram, Santa Fe, New Mexico, Toronto, Kailasam, Ohio, Prayag, Phoenix, Kanchipuram, Houston, Kalahasti, Guadalupe, Rameshwaram, Valmuni Temple in Malaysia. My blessings to the service project today which our volunteers are doing in Annadan and cleaning and spiritual healing and Galleria. My blessings to all the volunteers, and I also bless the temple to grow and serve all the human beings. There are some more cities joining: Oman, Sivagangai, Winston-Salem, North Carolina, Colorado Springs. I welcome all of you with my love and blessings. Today in the Inner Awakening, we are going to be working on complete completion. Please understand, just by removing a tree completely, just by uprooting a tree, you cannot be safe that nothing else will grow in that place, or the tree won't happen again in that place. No. You need to understand a very important thing. If you just see outside, the ground where the Nithyananda Sabha is going to be built, there were hundreds of neem trees. We uprooted all of them and cleaned the land. But go and see, at least 50 neem trees are again back. Even if you uproot the tree, the essence of the tree stays in the ground. So when the water comes, when the sun comes, the tree starts happening again. There are some trees you don't need a full seed for the tree to happen. Just the essence of the tree is there in the mud, that's enough, it will grow. There is a herb, Ammambacharisi. Just the essence of that herb is enough, it will grow. Same way, just removing your root pattern is not going to completely liberate you. How to stop the tree not happening again? How to make sure the tree will not happen again? How to make sure that tree is not going to sprout again? Burning, boiling the very root, which is the very land where the root can sprout. Same way, burning your consciousness, purifying it to the root from where even the root patterns can grow. That is what I call complete completion. Manonmaniya Vidya. In Sanskrit we call it Mana, Unmana. Awakening inner space. Awakening the inner space. Mana, Unmana. Please listen. Awakening the inner space. With this process of complete completion, we make sure even if there is a smell or the essence of the root patterns exists in the ground, on the soil, it doesn't sprout again. It doesn't grow again. Mahadevi, Rajarajeshwari, is gracing us on the 4th day of the Brahmotsavam as a Manonmani. 4th day today is the Rajarajeshwari Brahmotsavam. Devi is gracing on the Swarna Gajavahana, golden elephant Vahana, and gracing as Manonmani. Manonmani. Please understand. Mana, Unmana. Unmana means awakening. Mana means inner space. The complete completion awakens your inner space completely and does not allow any leftover unattended roots of the root patterns. For a neem tree to happen again, 1 inch old root is enough. Please understand. Just an inch length, old root is left without removed. The tree will happen again. You don't need a seed. For a banyan tree to happen again, just 3-inch root, if it is left without being removed from the land, that is enough. It will happen again. You don't need a seed. For your root patterns to grow again, you don't need to leave 3-inch or 1 inch. Just if you go back and see the same people, that is enough. If you see the same people who are responsible for your root pattern, that is enough. Understand? The complete completion is like ensuring the safety, ensuring the spiritual protection. Today in the Inner Awakening program, we are going to be doing the process for complete completion. See, with the complete completion, the liberated thinking starts in your system. Liberated thinking means awakening all the powers for which your body is built. Please understand, there are some people who have the latest, best cell phone, but they do not even know how to send an SMS. They can only switch on and speak, switch off and keep it. For that, you don't need a best, latest model 70,000, 80,000 rupee cell phone. Just 800, 900 rupee cell phone is enough. Having the best updated 70, 80,000 rupee cell phone, but not knowing anything to do with it, just you pick up, speak and leave it back, is what most of us are doing with our body. Our body is basically hardwired. Our brain is hardwired. The system is developed to experience so many extraordinary powers. Understand, you are not built just to be a clerk, just to be an attendant, or just to be a worker. Your being is basically built in to experience God, to experience divine, to experience the ultimate, to experience complete completion, to experience Mahadeva. Understand? Your body is basically built for experiencing many extraordinary things. That is why when Hinduism introduces you to you, it says, Shrunvandu Vishve Amritasya Putraha. Oh, listen, sons of immortality. Hinduism does not introduce you to you as a sinner. It introduces you to you as sons of immortality. Please listen. When you engage, entertain incompletions, when your thinking is from incompletions, it naturally leads to more and more incompletions. The thinking from incompletions leads to more and more suffocation. Please understand. Basically, incompletions are trying to make you believe your life is influenced by the factors which are not in your control. Completion is making you understand not only your life, anything you see is under your influence. Understand it is from the reality you perceive. The gold will melt in mercury. The gold coin, when you start dipping that into mercury, it will just melt and disappear into mercury. When this process is happening, from the side of gold, if you see, I am losing everything. From the side of mercury, if you see, I am gaining everything. When you look, when you perceive, when you cognize from body, from the incompletions, you will see everything is beyond your influence. There is no factor in the life which you can influence. Everything about your life is influenced by external factors. That is what makes you believe constantly impossibility. Can you do this work? No, because so many other things involved. Can you do this work? No, it may rain or shine. How do I know? I cannot control that. People who cognize from incompletion, they have done PhD in problem creating. PhD in problem creating, impossibility. PhD in problem creating. Listen, that is exactly the word I use. PhD in problem creating. Yesterday in the class I was giving one example. I think again I wanted to repeat that example for many of you to understand. The moment I see this podium, I may feel, wow, it is mine. When you see it, you may feel, no, it is not mine. It belongs to ashram. When somebody else sees it, no, it doesn't look good. When somebody sees, no, wow, it looks so nice. You can continue to see Swamiji's complete form even if he is standing near the podium. Each one will have their perception, idea, cognition about this podium. But the fact is, this podium exists. Please understand the basic fact which can't be refuted as on now. This podium exists. Completion means looking at the fact as it is, then cognizing the perceptions we are putting on it. I am not saying you will not have perception at all, no. But the fact of the cognition, the fact will be the basic cognition. On that you will start perceiving. Please listen. But usually in an incomplete mind, which is complete confusion and chaos, the perception will become the basic cognition, and the fact is neither remembered nor cognized. It is completely forgotten. Please listen. I am explaining one of the very subtle truths of Sankhya Vedanta, developed from Sankhya, experienced in Vedanta. A person who sees the fact as a basic cognition, perception as clearly your perception. In this example, you first see the fact, it exists. Then you add your perception. Like, oh, this looks nice or this doesn't look nice. This is mine or this is not mine. Whatever it is, it comes second after the fact is cognized. Then always you will have a space where the cognitive shift can happen. It will not bring suffering to you. But unfortunately, when the perception becomes the basic cognition, the fact is not perceived, any cognitive shift feels as a suffering. Just now I was settled in my life. I have been transferred. Just now I settled in my family. I am having only first child. Already the fight between me and my wife started. Many times the recognition, please understand. I know it is going above the head for many people. If you practice completion, what I am talking, you will directly catch it. All incompletion is nothing but the fact not being given enough inner space and cognition and respect by you. And the perception itself is given the first priority and respect. If the perception is recorded as a reality in you, which is going to be constantly changing, will give you a deep insecurity and instability in your life. But instead, if the fact is given the place of reality and the perception is given the place of perception, the recognition, the change of perception will not lead to more and more incompletion. If you are listening to satsang last 5-6 days and doing the homeworks which I give in the morning satsang, then you will understand exactly what I am saying now. See, day before yesterday, just few days in the satsang before, I was giving you the homework. See how your perception appears as a fact and fact appears as a perception, and the fact does not influence your decision and perception influences your decision. I asked you to get five examples. The perception influencing you as a fact and forcing you to take decision, and fact influencing you as a perception and forcing you to take a decision. If you have done that homework of getting five examples on both sides, then you will understand now what I am saying. If the fact is cognized as a reality, it leads to more and more completion. And the completion-based thinking leads to more and more liberated thinking. Please understand, liberal thinking is different, liberated thinking is different. If you become the slave of jeans and coke, it is called liberal thinking, MTV culture. It's too funny. How can getting addicted to senses becomes a liberal thinking? But that is what they go on forcing, showing us liberal thinking. If you control yourself, that is called orthodox thinking. If you do any foolishness based on your instinct, hi. It is called liberal thinking. What an abusive definition. Really. If you believe the media's brainwashing about life and lose all your liberty to think, you become a liberal thinker. That is what I will define. All this liberal thinking is nothing but bull, foolishness. Understand? The liberated thinking liberal thinking is MTV culture, liberated thinking is NTV culture. Liberal thinking and liberated thinking, there is a big difference. In liberated thinking, you start with powerfulness and you continue to exist with more and more and more powerfulness. There is no suffocation, there is no powerlessness, there is no impossibility. See, a person who has a liberated thinking will not face impossibility, because first thing, he will walk through the gate. Second thing, he will not go and hit himself on the wall and say, give me a way. He will be intelligent enough to go through the door, and he will not be foolish enough to go and hit at the factual impossibilities. Please understand. The perceived impossibilities are different and factual impossibilities are different. With a liberated thinking, the first thing will happen to you is you will respect factual impossibilities and you will complete with all the perceived impossibilities. And when you respect the perceived impossibility and the factual impossibilities separately, means you will complete with the perceived impossibilities and you will honor the factual impossibilities. Suddenly you develop certain kind of an energy and experience. Even the factual impossibilities start giving way for you and making it possibility, what I call miracle. Understand, the first step is recognizing the perceived impossibility and factual impossibility separately. completing with all these perceived impossibilities and dropping them and making all the perceived impossibility into possibility. Then this recognition does recognition in your inner space. Even the factual impossibilities start opening up its secrets to you, its constitution to you. When you know the constitution of the factual impossibility, many things become possibility for you. One of the biggest contribution I am doing to the world is teaching my kids understand the perceived impossibility and factual impossibility, and giving them the ability even to bend the factual impossibility. I commit with you guys, I commit with the humanity, in 10 years, I'll contribute at least 1000 siddhas to you guys. A person who is stuck in perceived impossibility is a failure. The person who has completed the perceived impossibilities and living with the factual impossibility is a successful person. A person who has mastered even the factual impossibility is a siddha. Understand? In 10 years, I'll give you at least 1000 siddhas from my Gurukul. Because when you complete with the perceived impossibility, the experience of reality changes for you. Please listen. If you complete with the one incompletion related to this podium, don't think only with this podium you become complete. One aspect of your divinity is also awakened. You are now something more. So every time you complete with some perceived impossibility or the perceived incompletion of the world, you go on raising to the next level. That is what I exactly call as spiritual growth. Completing with every perceived impossibility which appears as reality. I am giving you the essence of Vedanta. How many of you listen to Satsang regularly? Raise your hand. Then all of you will be able to easily follow up what I am saying. Drop it. Please listen. Completion with perceived impossibility leads to recognition about reality, recognition about possibility and impossibility. Then even the factual impossibility opens its door for you and tells you, no, even I am not that rigid. What you call as factual impossibility, even that tells you, no, I am not big enemy for you. There is no such thing as a factual impossibility. Please come in. Our borders are not defined. We can overlap on each other. Even the factual impossibility stands with Purna Kumbha to receive you. Understand, perceived impossibility is insecurity. Completing with the perceived impossibility is security. Ability to handle even the factual impossibility is giving security to others. Perceived, living with the perceived impossibility is Purusha. Man who has become husband is Purusha. When you become a husband, you become a different species. Man who has become husband is Purusha. When you complete with all the perceived impossibilities, you are called Mahapurusha. When you are able to play with even factual impossibilities, you are a Siddha Purusha. That's all. Perceived impossibility, factual impossibility, and all possibility. These are the different steps. Please listen. Every time when you do completion, every time when you are completing, you are moving from Purusha to Mahapurusha, Mahapurusha to Siddha Purusha. Manonmaniya happens in you. Mana, Unmana happens in you. Bring completion every time. Every moment of your life, feel complete. Be in the space of completion, powerfulness, joy. Bringing the space of completion, bringing the space of completion in every thought, every word, every action, every feeling, and every moment of living is enlightenment. Please listen. Initiating you into the science of completion is what I call Kalpataru. Completion process is such powerful, vibrant, living spiritual truth. Please understand, there are some masters who are living. Like in US 911, if you call 911, immediately in 3 minutes the ambulance and police will be standing at your doors. Like that, there are 911 masters. I have seen in my life some of these 911 masters, Sai Baba, Nerur Sadasiva Brahmendra, they are all 911 masters. The moment you call, they will be there. Attend to you. Same way, there are some gods, 911 gods. The moment you call, they will be there. Venkateshwara and Sundareshwara. Balaji, Tirupati Balaji. Don't think he makes money just like that. People in this Kali Yuga, people will not give money. If they give 1 rupee before that, they will scratch your nail and see whether it is original or duplicate. If they are giving 10 rupees, they will go to your heart and pump it and see. If they are giving 100 rupees, they will enter into your Atma and see everything very clearly. After that only they will give. People will not give money unless he does the job. I tell you. People give so much for Venkateshwara because he does the job. He is the 911 God. Same way Sundareshwara. Mahadeva in Madurai, the moment you call, he will be there. And Karupaswami, Karupanna Swami also. The moment you call, he will be there. Kalavairava. See, Kalavairava is only worshipped as a Karupaswami in villages. And Meenakshi only is worshipped as a Pachayamman in villages. Understand? To tell you honestly, all these temples, masters, everything is just to inspire you into the science of possibility. Through this Kalpataru, I initiate you into the science of possibility. Just like Nerur Sadasiva Brahmendra or Sai Baba are like 911 gurus, just like Venkateshwara and Sundareshwara are 911 gods, the science of completion is 911 spiritual technique. The moment you do, it will give you the result. The moment you start, it will give you the benefit. It's not that you have to do it for ages, even once. It starts producing results. Please listen. Now I'll initiate you into the Kalpataru process. Listen to the instruction. The first step, pick up any one thought you want to cause it as reality. And second step, write down all the impossibilities, doubt you have about that thought becoming reality. All the IA level participants, IA level 1 can create a thought to move to level 2 or level 3. You can do as you want, but pick up one thought you want to cause as a reality, and all the doubts, incompletions you have about that thought, the denial you have about that thought, please pick up your paper and pen, take few minutes and write the one thought you want to cause it as reality, and all the doubts, incompletions you have towards casting that one thought as a reality. Pen down both in next few minutes. I bless you all. Let you all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility and enriching with eternal bliss. Nithyananda. Thank you.
Nithyananda Dhyanapitham, Nithyananda Nagar, off Mysore Road, Bidadi, Bengaluru. Phone 08027279999. www.nithyananda.org, www.youtube.com/Life Bliss Foundation.